Yeah, hi everyone, Jason here, Robot Lawn Mowers Australia. I thought I'd take the opportunity to show you something that the new 2025 model Mammotion products actually have, and I haven't tested this back on the LUBA 2s or the LUBA 1s, previous models, and I believe LUBA 2s it'll work. LUBA 1s I'm not quite sure. But basically I want to talk about having multiple pathways between areas, as well as sort of being able to get the robot to travel back through an area via a custom pathway through an actual mowing area. There was actually a video taken right back in the early days of LUBA 1 by someone, I'm not sure, probably I assume in the USA, showing almost exactly the same thing as what I'm about to show you. And it worked right back then, so I believe it'll work with LUBA 2, but the multiple pathways between areas, I don't know if that works in the previous models or not, whether it's just the LUBA Minis, the YUKA Minis, the LUBA 2X models, and the new the new YUKA models with the new camera system. But what I want to show you is essentially just how complicated you can actually make these maps and the pathways that go between it. It's actually far better than it ever was, and I was very surprised to find this out myself not that long ago, that you could really do as much as we can possibly do now. So I'm going to swing over onto a different camera and film my app screen while we're going, and I'll show you what I mean. Okay guys, so hopefully I'll be able to just film this all from sitting on the tailgate of my ute. What I have here is a little YUKA Mini. It's just the easiest to control, which is great. And I've got it set up into so you can see the charging station on the screen there, and then across to the right of that is actually this area of grass over here, and then in front of that is that area of grass over there, and we've got this entire driveway in front of us coming back to the charging station. It's completely separate. So what I'd like to show you is essentially taking pathways out to all these areas, is that you can have multiple pathways between areas, or you can only have one path between each area, and I'll show you that. So what I want to do is I want to create a channel. And we're going to go through here, and so we're going to create a channel. And we're going to come off the charger. And for a start, when you try and start mapping a channel here, so we can start mapping a channel here, and I'm just going to go straight across the side here, and then go straight across to this lawn area, like such, which is fine. And we're going to save that. And then I'm going to come back and I'm going to take it across here. Probably best about the camera actually showing it, I suppose. You take it down to this point, back down here, and I'm going to start another channel back there, back to the charging station. And we're going to take this area back to here. Into this spot here and press save. Okay, so at that point you sort of think that's fairly normal. We can have two areas just going back to a charging station, which is fine. But what we're going to do now is we're going to go back over here. And we're now going to create another channel just between the two areas, like such. So now we've got an area between the channels, which is great. We hit save. So at that point, again, it doesn't seem too complicated right now, that's all fine, but at that point, the robot will actually choose the shortest path to where it needs to go. So if it's on the charger going out to area 2, it'll go down that pathway to area 2. If it's on a charger it wants to go to area 1, it'll go to that pathway to area 1. If it's in area 1 and needs to go to area 2, it'll take the shortcut between the two, whereas previously without that extra channel, it would have gone back to the charger and then out to area 2. So let's make it just a little bit more complicated, and we'll go over here. And we'll create an area over here. Create area, got it. Start mapping. We'll do a manual mapping, please. So now it's going to manual map. We're going to go the other direction this time, just because you can. So I'm just going to map this very rough area here, not taking any care whatsoever, really. Oh, where are we up to here? Keep going. So there, and I'm going to save that. Oh, I didn't like that because I overlapped the area too much. Didn't like that at all, did it? I didn't come back to that starting point really at all. So we're going to have to start another one there, guys, and bear with me. I'll go back the anti-clockwise way as well, just because it does seem to work a little better. Probably could have just done some little AI map here. Would have probably just done this. Would have done the same job for what we're trying to achieve here. There we go. Keep going here. There we go. Okay, now I'll save it. Okay, so now we've got our area. So now we have an extra area here, and we're going to do much the same thing. I'm going to start by putting in a channel straight back to the charging station. Oh, we're not in the area enough apparently. Let's just go across here a bit. Oh, he's a bit slippery. Yeah, that should do it. Start mapping a channel. So now we're going to map this one just straight through to the charging station box. Okay, so that's that one. Then we can take that same pathway. We'll go down here a bit and further down. Whoa, out of control, Jason. We'll go there, and we're going to, oh, sorry, I just hit the wrong button there, guys. Go in here, mapping again. I'm going to create a channel again. Start mapping a channel. We're going to channel it across here as well. I'm going to save that. And then we're going to reverse up there again. To that point there, and we're going to start mapping another channel. And this time we're going to take it back this way. Starting to get a little bit complicated in the mapping there now. And we can save that. Okay, so now let's have a look at what we've got here. Essentially, you've got every area is joined to every area and back to the charging station. So it's happily accepting all this mapping, and it will choose the shortest path to its location, no matter what that is. So if it's going out to area, even right now, so let's just have a look right now. So it's because it's actually on this little area over here, and I'll just show you on the map here. So it's on that area there. So if I wanted to go across here and mow from, because it's in area 1, so if I want to go across and put it into area 3 and mow, it may go down that pathway we just created. It probably would, but it also might go back to the charging station and then back down that path, down that channel there to get to area 3. If it was shorter, it would do that. It'll go through whichever area it wants. Or again, if it was shorter to do so, it would go from area 1 through area 2 and then across area 2 to area 3. It'll just take the shortest pathway, no matter what that is. So this is sort of something that, you know, we really haven't been able to do this for a long time, for forever, and with most robots. In fact, I think it's only the Sunseeker or in Australia, the Mobot Acre Eater, that is able to do, you know, multiple pathways between areas. So that's really is sort of pretty fantastic how we can just do multiple pathways and do that. So the next thing I want to show you though is trying to get it to go down a custom pathway. Now, what I'm going to do here, guys, is if you don't know how to edit maps here, I'm going to show you here as well how we do that. So I'm going to go and just take out essentially all these these maps. Actually, I might even take quite a bit out, to tell you the truth. So if we go back into maps, and we go edit, I'm actually going to delete area 3 altogether, and that will take away any of its pathways that's required. And I'm also going to delete that pathway there going out to area 2. Delete that, and we'll just leave the rest as they are. That's fine. Okay, so now we're back to a map that looks a bit like this. So if let's just go back out here. So if I wanted to create, just for instance, say that this entire area here, and I'll have to get off my tailgate now and walk, how terrible. Okay, just for instance, just say that this is actually a mowing area through here as well. But when the robot goes back from this area over here, you don't want it just to cut straight through the middle. You'd rather it go around the edges or take a specific pathway around that mowing area. For any reason. It could be, really could be for any reason whatsoever. It could be for security reasons, it could be because you don't want the lines to go across the lawn, it could be anything. So if we map out an area across here and we map this and then we put a pathway back, from this area to there, and then from that area back through this area, as soon as we put the pathway between that area and this area, it's going to ask you to save it. You can't take it from that area through this area and then back to the charging station. It just doesn't let you do that. So what you do to get around that, this is something that's been available for these robots actually pretty much since the start, is that you put your pathway in first. So you create your furthest zone away. Now let's just say it's from this point here. So from that point there, we're going to create the channel, and we're going to say create channel. We're in the area we want it. Okay, and the way we want this to go back to the charging station is right over the side here, and then I want it to turn here, and I want to go straight back to the charger. So I want the robot to take that pathway through the area. Okay, back to the box. We'll save that. And then after that, we're going to create the actual area that we want the robot to mow. Which, let's just assume that it's basically this entire area. So I'm going to start right there on the cross, start the area, manual mapping, got it. And I'm going to go around here. Here. Somewhere there, I should hopefully give us a tick to save it, and we save the area there. So now you can see, we go back over this side here so we're facing the right direction. So from the charging station, which is back here, and I'll turn this around so you can see it from the same angle where I'm standing now. So from the charging station, we're now looking at the mowing area there that we just created in the driveway here, and we're also talking about area 1 over the side there. So now, if I come across to the box, put the robot in the charging station box, and then I tell it to go and mow that area on the other side out there. Mow, start, next. Let's see what it actually does. So you see it's actually following the pathway, even though it's going through a zone over here. Through a zone, it's going down the actual way that you want the robot to go through that area. So you cannot do this after that area has been created. So if you want to do this after, you have to delete the area, put your channel in, and then put the mapped or the mowing area back in over the top. And now it's in its area ready to go. And I'll just let it go across to the side there. And if we send it home, I'll just pause that area. I'll end that task as well. And then we'll send it home. And it will follow that same pathway through the area back to the charging station. Now I have, obviously at this very second, I haven't actually created a pathway between area 3 and the charging station, but it will do exactly the same thing if we had that pathway. So that's going to take back exactly the same pathway as did before. What I might do is just a little experiment here, is we'll cancel that recharge, and it should not be able to, but if we put it into the middle of this area 3 that we've just created, into here, and we send it home, it shouldn't be able to. It should actually say that there's no pathway home, but let's see what it does. Yeah, there's no channel between the areas because there's no pathway for that area 3 to get home. We would need to create that pathway, which I'll do just now. So map, create channel, got it, start. And we'll take that back over here and into the side of the box like this, save that. And then again, we'll send it out to area 2 and show you that it still goes down that same pathway. Okay, again, I'll pause that, I'll end that, confirm. I might just reconfirm before, like I said, I'll just go into area 3 now, and now I'll send it home from there, and it will take its own path home, straight through the area, back to its pathway, which is over there, and it will follow its own pathway back. Which is what it would do if we only just joined the 2 areas together instead of running a custom pathway underneath the other area, other mowing area. So there you have it, guys. Just a few tips and tricks and things on what you can achieve now with the 2025 models. And like I said, I think you can do this with LUBA 2. I'm not sure you can do it with LUBA 1, except for the mapping feature or advanced, custom pathway, I suppose you'd call it, underneath an existing area. I do believe LUBA 1 can still do that as well. If LUBA 1 can actually do multiple pathways like we demonstrated everything we did in this video, please put a comment below and let me know. I don't get a chance to play with LUBA 1s too much. We spend some time servicing and repairing them, but we don't really play with them very much at all. So look, I don't like giving companies credit, but in this particular case, Mammotion are doing a lot towards making these products as flexible as possible. There's a new firmware version that's just come out across all the models, which has given far more flexibility and speed control, and there's a few bits and pieces that have changed just recently that's really real benefit from the previous video that I just took of this YUKA Mini last week. There's changes since then that are improving the model, so they're improving them all the time. There's plenty of people out there that complain about various features not being there, or features that don't work properly, everything else, but credit to the company. Mammotion spend a lot of time and a lot of effort actually developing extra features and getting them in there, whilst trying to manage people's expectations as well as the usability of the product. So yeah, they're in a tough space when it comes to trying to keep everyone happy, but I generally think that they're on the right track. They really are. So look, when it comes to being able to do things that are not necessarily shown in the manual, that's essentially what we're all about. So if you have questions, if you're in Australia and you're looking for robot mowers and you've got questions on how things work, or you've already bought a robot mower off us and you need support, it's really what we're all about. So understanding all these things, all the intricacies of what these robots do is sort of what we do. If you have anything that you want to know outside Australia, by all means drop comments below, ask questions, we'll answer them when we can. If you are in Australia and you're looking for information on robot mowers or assistance in any way, shape or form, you can email us at sales@robotlawnmowers.com.au. You can check out our website www.robotlawnmowers.com.au, and you can have a look at our socials, Facebook, TikTok and Instagram, and have a look at our day-to-day stuff that we post there. Thanks for watching. See you on the next one.